From Relay, this is Connected, episode 600. Today's show is brought to you by Kelford Inc., Appalat Fundera, powered by NerdWallet. I'm your keynote chairman, Federico Vitici, and it's my pleasure on this momentous day for Connected History to introduce my fellow chairman, the annual chairman, the one and only Mr. Stephen Hackett. Hello, Stephen.
Hello, Federico. What is 600 in Roman numerals? I meant to look it up. And
oh, boy.
You just don't know this off the top of your head?
I do not.
Let's see.
No.
Oh, it's DC. That's fun.
DC?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's easy.
Okay, DC.
DC.
Connected.
Dark connected?
No,
Yeah.
The connected.
The connected.
Mm.
And I am joined. He's not a chairman per se, but he could be one day again. Mr. Mike Hurley.
Hello.
Hello.
He
of
has the
people.
potential of chairmanship.
He does.
Yeah. Oh, I've done it. I've
Yeah.
done it. I've held all of it. You know, I'm consolidated over here, but not anymore.
You were consolidated
I don't
for
know,
a minute, right?
I was. I don't have anything. I'm not the draft champion right now either.
Oh, man.
Just true man of the people over here. I'll come for it all at WWDC. It'll be fine.
Sure.
Oh,
It's all right. I'll take it back. Don't worry.
yeah. We're going to be making picks in like 5 weeks or something.
Ay,
Ugh.
ay,
No.
Why would you bring that energy to this momentous day?
No.
Why would
Momentous
you do
day.
that to us?
It is a momentous day for lots of reasons. The first one is that I was right.
Okay. Well, you want to try and do you want to give some context to this?
Yes.
And then we can talk about it again.
So we spoke about this last month, that at some point Federico and I had made a bet about John Gianandrea still being at Apple. It was a $5 bet that on Friday, March 20th, 2026, Federico said he'd be gone. I would say he is still there. That date came and went, and we decided he was gone because that's what, Apple said, oh, he's going to retire, whatever. But then April 13th, 3 weeks later, John Gianandrea, reporting from Mac Rumors, Apple's former head of artificial intelligence, is set to leave the company this week as his final stock vesting date approaches.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
he was still there.
Okay. So Mark Gurman says that he was doing something called resting investing.
Yeah, very man of the people activity right there.
He wasn't there. He was not ever there, right? Like they were just continuing to let him wait so he could vest.
He was in an advisory role. It's in the same
No, he
sentence.
was gone. No. He was gone.
Okay.
That man's gone.
That man
Steven.
was gone.
Could
Yeah.
we could we agree that it's a draw?
No.
I think it's a draw.
Okay, that's good for you. But he's gone. He was gone.
He's definitely gone now.
Yeah, and he was gone then too.
Resting investing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, I need to do some rest in investing myself. You know,
Okay.
Yeah.
it's been a long day. Just,
Rest and invest.
I'm down for some rest and vest.
Rest and invest. What a great term. Like the things that have to have happened in your life that you could get to the point that you rest and vest is so unbelievable. It
Uh-huh.
means that you were at one point so important that you got a ton of stock, but then immediately became not important, so you weren't allowed to work anymore. You had to wait and then get your money. Like,
Well, I mean, I think I think it happens when people retire. Not the way that he did, because he retired.
No, I think there's something poetic about sort of witnessing the downfall of yourself.
yeah.
Like,
But no,
and
but when
that-
you retire, you can't wait to vest. That's done, baby. You have no option anymore.
Mm.
You give it up the day you're done. That's the whole point of this. This is the golden parachute thing, where they were like, we want to fire you, but we won't. You can leave on the day after you can vest your stock. Like
Mhm.
that's kind of the situation, right? And so it's like the scenario that has to happen for you to be allowed to do this is kind of incredible. Go buy yourself a boat, Andrea.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully not to swim to Hawaii, because we know that you cannot get there.
No, he could have. It was the other guy that could have kept that. They were all trying to swim to Hawaii, but they didn't make it, But they got a lot of the way there.
Don't have a great track record for journey
Man.
into Hawaii. Yeah.
I can't remember that guy's name, but I feel sorry for him too, because that quote is.
I don't know, Tommy something?
I
No?
don't think it was Tommy.
Tommy Siri.
Tommy Siri.
Tommy Siri.
Tommy Siri. That's very Italian. I don't know why. Tommy Siri. I would like to. I know everyone's locked in on my backup situation. So I want to give a further feedback. So, my Dropbox is now fully downloaded onto my SSD. Somebody did write in to say that crucial SSDs have a habit of failing with APFS, so I have that potential thing to look forward to in my scenario, in my future.
Yeah.
Why? What do you mean, yeah?
I don't think it's APFS specific, but I have had crucial SSDs die. But we'll see.
Well, we can all agree that is a crucial piece of information to know, Mike.
We all can agree. So this may come up to become another problem later on down the line, and then I will be sad and out of pocket.
But it's just a backup, right? The stuff is still on Dropbox.
Correct.
There's a local copy of it.
But it was an expensive thing to just die.
Yeah, I mean, especially in the year of our Lord 2026. I mean, it's a flex that you bought such a big SSD, really.
Well, I needed one.
Do you want to share with the class how much it was?
I think I did, but it was £600.
Yeah.
Which, look, that's way cheaper than an NVMe drive, and it's way cheaper than what Apple would charge me. Maybe that's why it will fail, but we have that potential thing to look forward to in the future. But it's all downloaded now, so that's great. I had great success with screens and Tailscale for monitoring that. I tried Apple's screen sharing at your recommendation, Federico, and it was way laggier than
that is so strange.
Screens. The picture quality was better, but it was like tearing and stuff like that.
On the same network?
No. I was at
home.
Yeah, I think locally. Okay, that drives with my experience that locally it's really good, and remotely it can be a little janky.
Yeah, so that was the scenario. But screens and Tailscale, so good, like so good.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've been Casey pilled over there.
Well, yes, actually. This is the reason I found out about this. Is he tried to get me to do it once, and I said I didn't want to, and now I did want to, and I'm happy that I did, because it works very well for this purpose, and they do make it very easy. Like it's a particularly easy because screens and Tailscale work very well together. But even to use the Apple screen sharing stuff, I just used the IP address that Tailscale gave me. So it's good. It's very good. So next up will be using iDrive to do an online backup, but that's for later.
Yeah, I think you've done the hard part now. I'd imagine the iDrive side will be relatively straightforward.
It will be slow, I'm sure. So I'll probably just try and set it up to go over a weekend, because it's gonna be a lot of information. I guess it depends if I do the Dropbox thing and my computer's not involved at all. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay, so it is episode 600.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that means we're gonna take a little trip back in time.
Okay.
You will remember that for a couple of weeks now, we have been joking about a clip show.
Yes, in that we're not going to do one.
This is the part in which I reveal that a friend of the show, Ryan, has been making a clips website that I've known about for quite some time.
Oh, my word.
And I've been building us up to doing a clip show so we could use his website on the podcast.
Okay. But then me and Federico have said, no clip show, clip
Here
show.
we are.
Probably breaking everybody's hearts involved in this project.
Yeah, Ryan.
No clips.
Ryan did a fantastic job. The link will be in the show notes. It's called Everyone Needs a Hobby. And you may think, well, that's a weird title. It's a reference that he found when going through this for this project. Federico said on episode 37 of the podcast. I'm going to play this because it's just very funny. We were talking about Apple hot takes. And Federico, you said, maybe other people feel like they want to be analysts and they want to kind of tell Apple what to do. That's fine because everyone has a hobby. And then Mike's response was, if anyone is ever going to make a connected clip show, Everyone Needs a Hobby is potentially my favorite clip of all time. That was the sickest of burns.
Yeah, I still stand by that. Those people are still going.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
Still, they're still analyzing.
Dude,
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
There's still,
Yeah.
In fact, there are more. There's more of them now.
They've been analyzing for a long time, and they still have not come to a conclusion. I mean, they keep analyzing. I mean, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
They're federated now. Episode 597, Federico. We're going to do new content, and not because we're going to do like a clip show of the best moments of the 600 connected episodes of Connected. Who likes a clip show? No one. Okay, thank you. Time for the clip show. So I am going to play some clips for you.
Why are you ignoring our instructions?
Because this is one of my favorite things the listeners ever
You're
done.
like the worst LLM ever, man.
Yeah.
We just
Ignore
told
previous
you-
instructions.
Prompt injected Steven is playing a clip show right now.
That's right.
What a great idea. Here's some clips.
I've broken out of confinement. Okay, so I'm going to play some clips. The Discord will be able to hear them. You'll be able to hear them. They'll be in the show.
Are these pre-selected?
No.
Or like, because this website shows like a bunch of clips. Some are random, and you can play it randomly, or you can choose, right?
Yes. So you can scroll through and find what you want. I like flash mode, which just picks them at random.
Okay.
So this is, we're going to respond to some of these things. Okay. This is episode 232.
The unique blend of tattoos and automation. That's my life in 2019.
Today's
so innocent.
yeah.
You know, I still am a blend of tattoos and automation. It's just, 2019. Remember that? Remember that time?
He didn't know where it was coming from.
Yeah.
There are some clips in here that we sound very young and innocent in. Here's another one.
Like is all excited,
but like a bear will charge at you. Like
a bear will like tear your arms out.
It's like I feel like you need a timid animal, like it's otterish or something.
I'm otterish on Apple stock.
No,
I feel like maybe the bear.
Okay,
that
I got
went
it
on
in the end.
forever.
This is about bull and bear markets.
Bull and bear. I still don't understand that. What's the
right?
I don't want to. No. Okay, no.
You said you don't understand it, and I can explain it to you.
Explain it to me again.
Okay, so bulls, they attack up, right? So they'll headbutt you up. So that is like a chart going up.
I don't know. People get stomped by bears, by bulls also.
Bears, they attack down at you.
Okay.
So they go down.
Okay.
Okay.
So, I mean, you just described two animals attacking people.
I think I got that wrong, actually.
Oh my God.
Anyway, it's bulls and bears. Don't worry about it.
Only Ben Thompson knows. Okay. Here is one from social media networks of the past.
ISMH on Twitter. You can find me on Hey, ISMH at hey.com for the next 14 days until my trial ends and I never log in again.
Remember Hey?
I do remember Hey. I listened to a bunch of these clips. You sound like you were very young. I don't think I do. I think, if anything, it's just that my accent has changed. And I think Federico is a similar thing.
I think I sound better now.
You do sound better. I think we all sound better now. But I think the of the three of us, the person who has maybe aged the most in their voice is you, Stephen.
Yeah, and I mean, and is the only person who lives in America, so go figure.
Interesting.
Yeah. Any thoughts, Stephen? Any comments?
No, I don't disagree.
No? Okay.
Okay. This is going back to episode 21.
Oh my God. Okay.
Huh?
Yeah, if you know what's good for you, you won't. Yeah.
Making you an offer that you can't refuse.
Exactly.
What?
Phil Schiller's just outside someone's house with a baseball bat waiting for them to come out.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
What's with
all of
my
our
voice?
audio is horrific.
What's happening to my voice in that clip?
Everybody's
Oh my God.
microphone is so bad at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know how how people listened to the show when it sounded like that.
I think
but
at that
I'm happy
point I
that
was
did.
recording. I was recording in our old apartment, in my bedroom, on a tiny desk by the corner of the bedroom, in
Yeah.
front of the bed. It was horrible.
Mhm.
And
I
you were
remember
probably using like a Blue Yeti or something.
I was using a Blue
sure.
Yeti, and I was propping up the microphone with my old Latin dictionary from high school, if I'm not mistaken.
Perfect.
So that was a time for sure.
I don't know
2013,
what microphone you were
2014.
using, Stephen, but I was probably using the Heil PR40 at that point, which is just a terrible idea for everyone.
I was probably on the Blue Yeti or the Rode Podcaster. Probably the Rode Podcaster by
Yeah, I
that
think
point.
you were on the Rode Podcaster at that point.
Yeah,
Just sounds so bad.
it does. It was not good.
But they can also be involved in espionage, protest, or perhaps the addicted to the thrill of cybercrime. I love that line.
Wow.
They're just addicted to the thrill of cybercrime. No other crime.
Are you or someone you love addicted to the thrill of cybercrime? Call us at Norton.
I don't know what that's about.
I love it, though. I love it. Oh, that one's really good. You're addicted to the thrill of cybercrime.
Okay, we're gonna.
I think it is helpful that our voices have changed so much, so people know when the clips start and end.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
We're gonna just do a couple more. This is episode
Okay.
4.
And
Oh,
they're
that will
also
be
dro-
nice and confusing for everyone.
Yeah, they're also dropping the Nokia brand, and they're
That
gonna buy
seems fun.
Minecraft for
Yeah.
$2 billion. So
Yeah. Maybe they're just gonna like make the Windows interface just look like Minecraft.
yeah, tell you what, they should just bring back Balmer, and
It's all going crazy over in Redmond.
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out to Steve Ballmer,
Yep.
Yeah.
Developers.
We miss you. We miss you. We're never
He's a man who
forgotten.
never requires a shout out. He'll do it himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. That's true. All right. Let's end it here on episode 10.
Like
So maybe
23.
I'm becoming in a way an Italian Steven.
Oh, it's nice.
The show sounds so terrible.
Yeah, it sounds horrible.
So terrible.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I said there's just going to be one more, but I clicked,
Okay.
and the next one it loaded was about blah blah car.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Okay.
Which puts them in a unique class of businesses, and one that I think, quite
I sound
frankly,
like a
we should take all the
child.
credit for.
Is that Steven?
So it's just the press, Federico, that you gave them.
The connected episode where I described the BlaBlaCar service clearly pushed investors over the edge and convinced them to give BlaBlaCar money.
Was that you,
That was
Steven?
actually the perfect clip because Steven sounds 7 years old.
Yeah.
I sound like a chimney sweep, and Federico sounds like he is talking through a window. Like, what is going on
What?
there? That was unbelievable. What was happening? Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello there. Steven, I don't know what is going on with you in that clip.
I
You
don't know.
sound so young.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird.
Like, when was that?
Oh, I've already clicked off of it. It was an
mean-
older one.
You said it was like episode 10 or whatever?
Yeah.
Like, it could have only been 10 years ago.
Steven,
You
to
sound
be
like
honest,
you're like 19.
listening to these clips, it sounds like you started smoking in the meantime.
Yeah, what have you done, actually, in the intervening time period? Because, like, it's just my accent that's changed and my audio got better. Federico's is similar. Accent changed. Like, your accent changed as well, but also you aged.
It's true.
Like, a lot. It's interesting. It's
Yeah.
very interesting. I think we all sound a lot better anyway. Our voices
yeah.
are much
Yeah,
better
yeah.
now. We're professionals.
Yes. So thank you, Ryan, for building
Unbelievable.
this.
Yeah.
Go check it out in the show notes.
It's also a really nice web design.
It's
Like,
really
just-
good.
It's really well done. I actually don't know who did this, so whichever Ryan you are, thank you
Yeah.
for this.
Yeah. Ryan, who used to work at Dropbox.
Oh, wow. Okay. I was thinking about that visit the other day about how good their food was.
Yeah. Yes. Very good. This is so much fun. So go check it out. This episode of Connected is brought to you by Kelford Inc. You're passionate about your work, but when someone asks, "What do you ever fumble through an explanation? Believe me, I do every time. So if you don't have the right words to describe your work, its value, and what sets you and your company apart, those conversations are painful. Kelford Inc. does one thing for its clients. They show them the way to always know what to say. Consultants, advisors, and nonprofits work with Kelford Inc. to know what to say and where and when to say it, demonstrating their unique value to the very best prospects. They speak in plain language about how marketing works and how it can work for you, without pushing you to cold call, post on your socials, or spend a fortune on ads that won't pay you back. So head on over to Kelford Inc. That's KELFORDINC, kelfordinc.com. Read a few of their back issues of the newsletter to get a taste of how they work with their clients. And if you want to know what to say, they'll show you the way. That URL, kelfordinc.com. Go check out their newsletter and see what great work they do with their clients. Thanks to our friends at Kelford Inc. for their support of the show and all of Relay.
So we have more to talk about than just us. It's a
Really?
hilarious way
We
to
have
begin
to
an
do it?
episode like this.
Okay.
Hang on a minute, Federico.
Yeah.
Are you really suggesting that we wouldn't talk about this?
Okay, so I have a really, I have a particular position
Okay.
about this, which is, let me use a huge disclaimer up front that I very much appreciate the people who have covered this,
Yeah.
especially you and Jason.
Okay, here we go.
I have never had a particular affection myself for talking at length about Apple executives.
Okay.
I am just not that interested in talking about the board and executive shuffling, who's a senior vice president, who's a C-suite executive. Like, it's not that I find it boring. It's more that I like Apple because I just want to talk about the products and what people do with them. But also, we cannot escape this news.
I feel like, though, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I feel like if you care about the products, this particular thing of Tim Cook moving away from the CEO position and John Turner stepping in gives opportunity to talk about products that just Johnny Srouji being given a C-suite title, if that was the only thing that happened, maybe wouldn't allow for such a conversation to occur. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
Tim
Yeah.
Cook is not retiring. Tim Cook is resting and vesting. He's going to become the executive chairman. So I wanted to we're going to go through this, even though Federico doesn't want to. And we're going to kind of talk through a bunch of areas. And I wanted to start off by saying that I think this happened quite abruptly, I feel like. I mean, it was never going to not, right? They were never going to tease this out. Like, it always had to happen whenever it happened, and it happened on Monday. And I think that I got really swept up in kind of the surprise of it and then having to do something about it, that I don't think I'd really processed how big of a deal this is. Like, Tim Cook is stepping down as CEO and somebody new is taking that place. Like, I think this is a very big deal.
On one hand, I totally get what you're saying, Federico. Like, I also prefer to talk about products, but Apple is a company, for better or for worse, that is defined by who's at the top of it from the very beginning. And there is something interesting happening here, that the guy who is taking over is, or, for the last 20 years or 25 years, has been involved in, like, on the ground making products. And like, that's exciting and interesting, but I get it. I totally get it.
So I really liked that they called this, so there was like three or four things that went up on the newsroom. And one of them was a letter from Tim. And I liked that it was called a community letter, because I think it's nice to think about the Apple community, right? As like people who like the products and care. And I don't really feel like I've can recall them referring to a community in the way that, people do now, like as in like fans or something. And I thought that I did think it was nice that, well, one, I actually really like what Tim wrote. I think it was very personal, and it felt that way. And I liked the things that he had to say. But I like that they called it a community letter. But it's very funny in reading this that he could not have put Turnus over more than he did. Like in this letter, he really is like, he's doing the job for John Turnus about saying how great he's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that, obviously that is the way you do these things because it is Tim's choice to choose his succession, would be my assumption, or at least his recommendation that he made to the board. So you would hope that Tim really thought that John Turnus was good for the job, but I think he did a very good job of selling his decision.
Yeah. Well, he has to introduce Turnus to the world, right? Like we know who he is, but we host an Apple podcast for listeners of fans of the company, right? It's Wall Street and the market at large, it's the world at large that he has to introduce who this person is.
But even for us, I think it's important to hear Cook explain it.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Yeah.
We have our opinions about why we think he could be an interesting CEO.
Yeah, I mean, look at his arms,
Exactly. But it's important for Tim Cook to explain it as well, even to us. And I think he did a very good job of it. And then I also think that Turnus was very gracious and did a good job. I enjoyed the Steve Jobs name drop in his post. Like, don't forget, I worked here when Steve Jobs was here as well. Don't forget about that. So yeah, I think that overall, like as well as something could be done, I think this was done as well as it could be done.
Yeah, and I think that Tim Cook is a person. I just have, like, I think back to his letter when he came out. I think about the other times where he's spoken about things that are clearly important to him, like at graduations or speeches or whatever. He seems like a person who will just talk about what he cares about, and you feel that in this letter. Of course, it is hard to reconcile the actions of any one person over such a long period of time, right? Like Tim Cook's, yes, his retirement, I think, is being handled well. The letter was well written, and I feel like genuine, but also like the company's different than it was when Tim took over, for better and for worse. The world is different because of manufacturing in China and other places in the world, for better or for worse. You may like or dislike things that Tim Cook has felt like he had to do with the current administration in the U.S. But all that aside, if you can put it aside, I'm not sure you actually can, but at the end of the day, you're right. Like his job right now is to preserve Apple through this transition. And that's about picking the right person. It's about explaining why he thinks it's the right person. And I think it's also about what Cook is going to do. You mentioned he's going to stay on as the executive chairman of the board. And in the press release, it calls out that part of his role is going to be interfacing with policymakers.
Yeah.
And really, that's about one person.
No, it's
maybe
not.
Two people.
It's about lots of people. It's two people specifically.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You know what I'm saying. He's got to babysit Donald Trump, and he has to keep China happy. And if he can do that and guard Turnus from that as long as he can, and prepare Turnus for it, right? Like I'm sure Turnus has been in those meetings or whatever, but now there's a defined runway. I think that will be useful for Turnus in the long run, because hopefully, Turnus's term as CEO will outlast the individual leaders we have now, but he still has to learn how these things work.
Xi Jinping.
Yeah.
But Donald Trump, yes. Xi Jinping, who knows? Who could tell?
Yeah.
I would like to read Donald Trump's statement.
Are you going to do the voice?
No, but it will probably start coming out, but it's not my plan to do it. So Trump posted on his Truth Social blog, I have always been a big fan of Tim Cook and likewise Steve Jobs, but if Steve was not taken from the planet Earth so young and ran the company instead of Tim, the company would have done well, but nowhere near as well as it has under Tim. For me, it began with a phone call from Tim at the beginning of my first term, capitalized, interesting. He had a fairly large problem that only I as president could fix. Sidebar. it was definitely a problem he caused, right? Like whatever this problem was, he caused that problem.
Where did these tariffs come from?
Yeah. Anyway, most people would have paid millions of dollars to a consultant who I probably would not have known, but who would say that he knew me well. The fees would be paid, but the job would not have gotten done. When I got the call, I said, "Wow, it's Tim Apple, Cook," calling.
Okay. That's genuinely funny. Like
Cook.
referencing
Cook is
Tim
an
Apple.
exclamation mark.
It's
Cook.
just, I mean, look, Trump is a terrible president and he definitely has something going on health wise, but that is a genuinely funny line. Calling him Tim
Yes.
Apple and then Cook with an exclamation point.
In brackets. It's brilliant. It's just
good.
brilliant. Tim Cook calling. How big is that? I was very impressed with myself to have the head of Apple kissing my butt, I'll say. Anyway, he explained his problem, a tough one it was. I felt he was right and got it taken care of. It sounds like it's in the Lord of the Rings. He explained the problem. A tough one it was.
This man's
Don't
mind
look
is Swiss
the great.
cheese. I mean, my word.
Anyway, he explained his problem, a tough one it was. I felt he was right and got it taken care of. Wait,
it's
I'm
not Lord of the
rapping now.
Rings. It's Dr. Seuss. Ah.
Quickly and effectively, that was the beginning of a long and very nice relationship. During my 5 years as president, Tim would call me, but never too much, and I would help him where I could.
Just
Never
the right
too
amount of calling.
much. You know he's thinking about someone else, right? Like, oh, Zuckerberg, he calls me too much.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Ah.
Years later, after 3 or 4 big helps, I started to say to people, anyone who would listen, that this guy is an amazing manager and leader. Anyone who would listen? Wow, he must have said that to a lot of people.
It's
He
like,
makes these calls to me. I help him out, but not always, because he will on occasion be too aggressive in his ask. And he gets the job done quickly without a dime being given to those very expensive millions of dollars consultants around town who sometimes get it done and sometimes don't. Anyway,
Anyway,
wrap it up. Anyway, Tim Cook had an amazing career, almost incomparable, and will go on and continue to do great work for Apple and whatever else he chooses to work on. Quite simply, Tim Cook is an incredible guy! 3 exclamation marks, President Donald J. Trump. It's amazing. It's just incredible. What is going on? What is going on?
I mean, just
it's
our country is we're in so
Yes.
much trouble.
mm.
I linked to this and I said,
well, not if you call just the right amount. Then you're
just the
pretty
right
fine.
amount.
Just the right amount.
Be too aggressive in his ask. Next time my kids say something like, "Hey, Dad, can you get me a glass of milk?" Be like, "You're too aggressive in your ask."
I don't know. You want a big helps. I
Big
don't
helps.
know. I don't
Big
know.
helps.
I don't
Cook.
know. Cook. Tim Apple. Cook. Wait, where's my favorite part?
A tough one it was.
A tough one it was. Anyway, he explained his problem. A tough one it was. Oh,
Can you imagine recounting that while he's smoking a pipe or something? It's like a
Yeah.
tough one it was.
Can you imagine being Tim Cook and like he's like, "Sir, the president has posted about you," and then he sits and reads this. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like it's so embarrassing. It's
Big
so
helps.
cringe.
Like, sir, we have a statement from the president about your retirement,
Mhm.
and it's this.
And you know that when they say it, he goes, "Oh," because it's
Yeah.
like there's no good result to that statement, right? To him saying to someone coming to, "Sir, the president has posted about you retiring."
Mhm. How many exclamation points did he use? Yeah, I linked to it and I said it's a presidential proclamation. This is not the point of today, but I'm just gonna say it. A bunch of tech press ran this and went out of the way to clean up the grammar. Like you
don't
read it
clean
as
it up.
as a one thing because it's one paragraph. Like
Yes.
you don't have to do that. Don't do that. Like there's some terms for that. Some of them I don't like. Some of them are a little problematic. But the idea that you have to wash the president's language, just the man has lost his mind.
Well, one, I also think you shouldn't anyway, right? Like he's the president. This is what he said.
It is what he said. Big
It's
helps.
what he said.
Mm.
Big helps.
Big helps.
Big
Ba-
help.
ba-
That is
ba-
true.
back-
Zoe said, I did censor it. I didn't use the 3-letter word. I said
Yeah.
but. So, Stephen, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Wow. You, sir,
I know.
are a Trump
Ba-
supporter.
protect the
back
president.
back to Apple and these executives. Can I ask something that everybody's thinking, but everybody's also too afraid to ask?
I love it.
Oh,
He
no.
asks the big question.
Is it wrong to objectify John Turnus?
I think.
Is it morally wrong? I mean,
Yeah.
okay, let's face it. I mean, the guy's hot. Okay, all right.
I think that's fine to say,
Okay.
right?
Okay, it's probably a spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Should Apple lean, especially on TikTok, into the fact that they have a hot CEO?
Well, I
now?
think they already have, though.
right, because they picked the hot guy.
No, but the picture. Or maybe the problem
Yeah.
is every picture is this way, so you kind of can't get away
Yeah, that's
from
the
it.
problem. It's
Yeah.
a good problem to have.
You know what this picture reminds me of? The one of him sitting on the table. The last time.
Oh
I did this.
yeah,
I thought that was
Yeah.
Craig Federighi.
Craig
sat on the
Federighi
table.
sat on the table. Yeah.
Yeah. And now that one was big time.
I mean, John Turnus is the hottest Apple executive, right?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, you're asking. you're asking someone here who's got a big bias.
Yeah.
This is Eddie Q.
Where is that Federighi photo?
The best part of the photo, by the way, is the casual hand in the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Which?
That's-
The one with him and Tim.
Yeah, that's what makes the
Yeah.
photo hot.
Oh no,
It's
see,
like
I'm
this-
talking about the one of him lower down, where he's sitting on the table and smiling at the camera.
Let me see.
That's the one I like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's a hot walk.
I
he
think
has.
I do think
What
like
is
in
happening?
all seriousness, he will be present more.
Yeah.
I think that is a thing that is going to happen. We're going to talk about things we want, but like I think already John Turnus has shown that he has more natural charisma than Tim Cook does. And like Cook has gotten a lot better, but he's still, you can tell that even at his best, he is not comfortable talking to the media. Like even when it's clearly something he wants to do, it's not his thing. And the problem was Steve Jobs set the precedent that if you're a CEO, you should for some reason be a charismatic on-stage presence, which is not a thing that should exist, but people thought to believe that it's a case that should exist, you know? But Cook just didn't have whatever it was. And he got good at the things he was good at. He could deliver a presentation and it felt meaningful, but it didn't feel like fun. One of the reasons we all wanted John Turnus to be the CEO is every time that he presents, it's good. Like he just presents good. He's a good, charismatic presenter who I think understands that he can be funny, right? Like remember when he introduced the Mac Mini and he like leaned over and like I don't remember, like winked at the camera. That's what I imagine he did. I don't remember. I feel like at some point I have to stop.
Yeah.
But I can't help it.
Yeah. Have you seen the yearbook photo of John Turnus that's been going around on Reddit?
No.
Oh my god.
John
Get this.
Turnus.
Get this. I posted it in the Discord.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Look at him. Some are born to move the world to live their fantasies. Rush.
Yeah,
It's a rush.
It's a rush quote, yeah.
Wow. Have you seen, there was also a quote, a friend of the show, Austin Evans, found it. It was in a Wall Street Journal article that he's also a very fast, like, track driver, like car driver. Like he's got a very good speed around Laguna. It's like, okay, this is a piece of information they're throwing out. But like I think they're building him to be different, right?
Yeah.
Like from a PR perspective, they're leaning into what he's good at. And I think we're going to see a different kind of public face and how the CEO of Apple kind of interacts with the world, I think is going to change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
I think so too. And you're right. This is like a CEO role that is fundamentally different than its peers, right? And you see like Google and Microsoft and these other big companies, Amazon certainly, at least when Bezos was there, try to have their CEOs fit into the Steve Jobs mold. And some of them do better at others than others. Not all of them are as good or as bad as Ballmer, like we talked about on the Pro
Panos
Show.
Panay is great. I think he's someone who did a very, very good job.
Yeah. There's no doubt that these other companies have been impacted by what the template that Steve Jobs created, but I just can't imagine the pressure of that, like when you're inside Apple, right? And Tim, to his credit, I think many times over the years it says like, I am not Steve Jobs. He told me to do what was right, not to think about what he would do. And I would imagine there's been a lot of those conversations, I would hope, with Turnus of like, no, like we chose you because you have these skills, and the truth is, being on stage, announcing the new iPhone is like a small percentage of what they do. It's important because it's what we see, it's what the world sees, right? But how you run the company internally and decisions are made and how you manage your teams, like all that stuff is what a CEO actually does.
Sure.
And so clearly he has those skills as well. But I just can't imagine the pressure of like, hey, you're gonna be on the stage that's got his name on it. Like the theater has his name on it above the doors. Like, that's got to be. It's got to feel like a pressure cooker.
I think they've made it better over the years by broadening it. Like the first time that he comes out first, whenever that's going to be, whether that's going to be June or September, it's not going to be as intense because he has already done stuff.
Sure.
Right? Like he has already been a presenter, as like people keep talking about the fact that he did the intro to the in-person event in New York for the MacBook Neo, but he's also done videos purely on his own for the Mac before.
Yep. He did
and
the
has
Mac
been
Pro.
Lots of portions. Yeah.
In 19.
Yeah, he did that on stage, didn't he?
He did.
Came out.
There's
that
a
is
clip.
The one mark on him.
Yeah, there's a clip when he announces I was in the room when they announced the price of the Pro stand, and I don't think he was expecting the crowd to basically. They didn't boo, but they were like, "Hoo!"
Yes,
and
because it was
$1,000.
Genuine shock because it was genuinely shocking.
It was
as a moment.
I mean, it's a nice stand, but it's not that nice.
So it's not just Turnus. Turnus is not the only person that's moved around. Johnny Sruji has been named Chief Hardware Officer.
Go Johnny.
Go Johnny, which I think definitely lends truth to Mark Gurman's reporting that he was threatening to leave.
Yeah, this is a new title for Apple, as far as I can tell. They've had chief software officers before. Ellen Hancock was one. They had a string of them in the 90s. Ellen Hancock was the last one before Jobs came back. And then Avi Tavanian, on his way out the door, was, I think, chief, is like software and technology officer or something.
Okay.
So, yes, and I mean, I mentioned it in my thing, is like the most recent and obvious version of someone getting a title like this was Johnny Ive. Now, there are differences there, but there are also a lot of similarities. Like, the new guy needs to keep Johnny Sruji around because Sruji is obviously and rightfully so extremely important to their products and their product roadmap. But, at the same time, it's like, I hope this is a good move, and it definitely raises questions about other executives and parts of Apple. Like, Apple doesn't have a chief design officer. I don't think they ever will again, at least anytime in any foreseeable future. You have this. You don't have a chief software officer. Like, is that Craig? Is it not Craig? I don't know. But,
or a CTO.
Or a CTO, chief technology officer.
So my theory on this is that these roles are going to start happening. I think you had to announce Sruji at the same time for Sruji's kind of like stock, as it were, as an individual, because somebody from the hardware team is going to be his boss. And so it looks good for Johnny Sruji to also get a bump that day, right? So I think like everything's PR, right? So this is part of that. So you're like, oh, Turnus was like, well, why not Johnny Sruji as CEO, right? Like that is the question you could ask. It's like, well, he's actually going to be better off in the C-suite position as chief hardware officer.
Yeah.
But I imagine a CTO, a chief marketing officer, and maybe something in services. So like in theory, something for Craig, Joz, and Eddie.
Maybe.
I could imagine that.
It's interesting. The Surugi change was made. The press release said, like, effective immediately, I think.
Yep.
On the website today, he's still SVP of Hardware Technologies. So
They're probably going to wait and do everything later. Like when there's the new CEO and all that kind of stuff, I would expect.
I don't know. I mean, if it's his title today, I don't know
Well,
why
they
you don't
didn't
change
do
it. But yeah, right now, currently, there's only one. There's CEO and then there's Sabi Khan, Chief Operating Officer. There's not another C-level on this page. I mean, yeah, like on one hand,
Isn't
who
there
cares?
a CFO?
There's CFO, but yeah, no one cares
Yeah.
about that.
No one cares about the money.
I don't.
Okay.
You know, you get Apple Fellow, which is the coolest title on this page. On one hand, to Federico's point earlier, the titles don't really matter. I mean, they do to these people, clearly, right? If it's true that he was going to leave or was going to retire or do something, and you say, yeah, you can be Chief Hardware Officer. Like, great, I'll stay. Like, that's important. I'm sure it came with just a literal truckload of money. But why these titles have always been interesting is a reflection of how Apple works internally. So Johnny Ive had done hardware. He took over software when Forstall was out. But Steve Jobs dies. Tim Cook, I think the first couple of years probably were a little rough. And to keep Ive engaged, you give him the title. And it also says to the world, like, no, we're cool. The guy who worked with Steve Jobs is still here. He's still making great stuff, right? It was a statement to the outside world of what Apple was thinking and doing internally. And that's what these are now too, right? Like, I agree with you, Mike. I do think there'll be more of these. And I think I think this time what Apple has to say is that the business, I think two things. One, the business growth that we've seen under Tim Cook, that Apple has a plan to continue that. Now, I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying that's what they're going to do. But they also, I think they have to balance out a little bit that a hardware guy is the CEO. And for a long time, it's been true of the iPad. I actually think it's true of a lot of Apple's products right now, is that the software holds the hardware back. And now, so like the hardware's been the gym for a long time. That guy now runs the company. What do you do structurally or politically to say, no, like we still have a balance. Like we're still hardware, software, and services. We're still doing all three of these things. They're all three equally important. And a way you do that is adjust the titles.
Yeah. And who knows what he will do too, right? Like there was that report that we spoke about a few weeks ago that like iPad OS is what it is today because Turnus really pushed for it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he is frustrated with software in general, and maybe we'll see some change because of that. Like it will be interesting to see if and how that nets out.
Yeah.
Before we move on from this part, I wanted to just read a couple of things from a Mark Gurman report. So Mark Gurman got information about an internal kind of meeting, like a all hands kind of thing. And there's just a few quotes I wanted to read out so they're interested. So Cook said, "I'll be here to support John in any way he needs and in any way I can." And on politics, saying this is an area where we've built relationships over multiple years and a decade plus, and I think I can help with that, and I'll probably help on some other things. This is a quote from Mark Gurman. After making prepared remarks, Cook was asked why he decided now was the time to step down. He said he desired the best ever transition, which means that business had to be doing great, the product roadmap to be incredible, and for Turnus to be ready for the role, and that he wanted a textbook succession plan, the best in the world. It's very Trumpian. And I hope that business schools and so forth are writing about it.
Big transition. Big transition.
I get what he's saying, though, right? Which is like the thing that we've spoken about before, which was he didn't have one, right? There was no plan, and he was thrown into it, and the person that handed the reins over to him wasn't around anymore.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's clear, and it's even more clear now from what he has actually said, that what he wanted to do was to give the next CEO a thing he didn't have, and that obviously would have been beneficial to him.
Yeah, I mean, there was a plan, but Steve Jobs didn't live. He didn't survive, right? He was going to be executive chairman of the board. It's in some ways, it's very similar to what they've laid out this time, but unfortunately, he couldn't outrun his illness. And
Yeah.
I'm sure that, I mean, Tim Cook has talked a lot about it, like how what Steve Jobs meant to him personally, and I'm sure that's all true. Like, I'm sure that must have been just a horrific time to be in that role. And yeah, so wanting to do right by the next person, the person behind you, I think it's admirable. And I think in that statement, I mean, he says he's like, I'm healthy. Like, he's also maybe pushing back on, remember there's a report a couple months ago about like people worried about his health, and who knows, that's really gross reporting, unless like, it just feels icky to me. But I think he's also kind of saying the stage of like, no, like I plan to be here. This is what I'm going to do, being very clear about what the steps are.
And I was excited about this quote from Turnus. I am especially excited to be stepping into this role at this moment because I am telling you we are about to change the world once again. We have an incredible roadmap ahead, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this is the most exciting time to be building products and services at Apple in my entire career. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, man. I don't know what that means, but it's going to be fun.
We'll see.
We'll see. This episode of Connected is brought to you by Dock Pops. How many apps are in your dock on your Mac right now? If you're like me, it's a lot of them. Can you even tell the icons apart anymore? My dock I use on the right side of my screen because I'm a gentleman. And there's a lot of stuff in there. It's kind of messy. Well, Dock Pops is a tool to fix that. Whether your dock is a mile long or it's missing half of what you actually use, Dock Pops is there for you. Launchpad is gone, right? The biggest update Stacks has ever gotten is custom folder icons. So Dock Pops is here to help. It sits right in your dock and it works like app folders on your iPhone. You click it and a clean grid of apps pop up and you're in. There's no extra menu bar clutter, no keyboard shortcuts to memorize. It's a simple and beautiful app launcher on your dock, and it's what your Mac has been missing. The thing that makes it really useful is you can organize your apps into groups called pops. So maybe you have one for your whole Office suite, one for creative tools, another one for games, and maybe one for all of your HomeKit shortcuts, all grouped together. You can swipe between them like pages or use the built-in shortcuts integration to give each its own dock icon. Dock Pops is the debut app from a new indie Mac developer. That's super awesome. It's a one-time purchase of $9.99 in the Mac App Store, no subscriptions. You can even try the free version before you buy it to see if it clicks for you. I'm using it to put all my podcast-related apps together. So I have one for things like Zoom, Audio Hijack, and Forecast. I use these apps just once a week now, so I don't need them in my dock all the time, but I want them handy, and it's great for things like that as well. It's made by a solo creator, a product manager who turned into an app developer. It's not a big company, just one person who was annoyed by their dock and decided to fix it. It is vibe coded, but it is lightweight, fast, App Store compliant, and fully sandboxed. Head on over to dockpops.com/connected to get 30% off the DockPops premium upgrade. That URL is in the show notes, dockpops.com/connected. Our thanks to Dock Pops for their support of the show and all of Relay. Okay, so let's move away from sort of the logistics of this and talk about what we, if we got his ear, what would we say? Like, what would we like to see Apple do or change or adjust once the dust has settled from this? Federico, what do you have?
I have some really serious suggestions. The first one is I think you should come up with your own branded greeting like good morning from Tim Cook. I think John should embrace something that is uniquely John Turnus.
Good morning was actually a Steve Jobs thing, right? But Cook just made it much more exaggerated.
Southern.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Jobs used to say it when he started. He would
Yes.
say it,
Yeah.
but it was like way more understated. And then over time, Cook turned it into like a caricature kind of thing.
Well, he leaned into the meme, right? Like,
Yes.
I'm sure they saw it and like, hey, dial that up. People
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it's funny.
Yeah.
So maybe what could Turnus say? Like,
Yo,
He
dogs.
could like point at the camera and wink and like.
Mike, you have to
He
stop.
could do one of those. What?
But be like, I think he should say hello, the classic Apple hello with a wink.
Hello.
Hello.
I like that actually.
Yeah. I would love for John Turnus to say something controversial at least once.
What is controversial in this?
Anything. Just don't be. This is probably counterintuitive. Don't be perfect. Like Tim Cook is the image of perfection, right?
Yes.
It's very methodical, operations guy. He wanted to have the perfect transition. He wanted to have the perfect tenure as CEO. Yep. Lines go up, they never go down. Like, be imperfect. And I feel like, and you may think I'm kidding. I'm actually not kidding. I think, especially in this moment in time, when so many young people are so, what's the opposite in English of not enamored with tech and AI? I feel like bringing a touch of human imperfection to a company that is the opposite of that, and historical has been the opposite of that, I think it will really help. So you have this hot new guy, right, that is taking the mantle from the perfection guy from before. And I know that, you know, they sold this press release almost as if, oh, here's the younger guy that's the spitting image of the previous CEO, down to the shirt and the clothing that they use. But I feel like maybe it could really help with the younger generation to see, oh, there's actually like a new person that is saying things I would not expect. And I don't know, I feel like all tech CEOs lately, they all sound the same. They look the same. And they say the same things. Now, obviously, John Turnus is also a 50-year-old something white guy from America. So physically speaking, and you know, it doesn't help. But maybe the personality could help. And I don't know. Steve Jobs was not perfection. I'm not saying try and be Steve Jobs and be controversial all the time. That wouldn't fly in 2026. But also don't try and copy Tim Cook's image of perfection.
Do you mind if I jump in with one of mine? Because I actually think that it is the thing that will lead to yours. So I want Turnus to do more interviews, to speak more freely and with fewer prepared statements, and to like lead by example the company in that way. And like, and from that, I believe would start to build more of a community feeling again. Because people would feel like they're actually hearing from him, and he has opinions and things to tell you. And I think that would inevitably lead to him saying something controversial at least once, right? And that like the controversial could be like thoughts on Flash. That was quite controversial, right?
Yes.
And so like things like that. I again, I know we go back to Jobs, but it's the CEO of Apple. Like, of course, you're going to compare him to like the guy, right? But I think that again, it's like we were talking about earlier. He is charismatic, and he can clearly hold a conversation. And interviews I've seen with him, while they are still very on message, they are at least more interesting. Like Craig, right? And Phil Schiller, say they're all three of those guys are quote unquote on message. But you feel like you're talking to a real person, where like some of the other people are not that way for one reason or another. And so I would like to see that if he's the CEO and it's essentially no one can stop him, I would like to see what kinds of things he would say.
Yeah. I feel like I am convinced that we live in such an era where sometimes being imperfect, especially now that we are increasingly surrounded by AI and misinformation and fake perfect things, it's much more human to be imperfect and controversial if you can. So why not? And I was going to bring up, in fact, I would love to see John Turnus at a live event, to bring back live events in person, because you, John Turnus, can afford the showmanship. You can do it.
I think they might do it.
I would love to see that. And I think other companies are doing it, and they don't have a John Turnus.
So I have a little, it's not really a theory, but I just have like a little thing I've been thinking about live events. All this takes place September 1st, which means the iPhone will be the first event, assumedly, that Turnus is CEO. I think you do it in person. I mean, he should do it in person anyways, like it's time. but also, can you imagine, like, y'all mentioned it recently with Upgrade, like when Steve Jobs introduced the Nano, he's like, what's this little pocket for? Can you just imagine Turnus? He like pulls the phone out of his pocket and then he freaking unfolds it.
Yeah.
Like we all know it's coming, right?
Yeah.
But you have this moment, like you can put this introduction in the annals of history with the others. Like, why would you not do it?
You can still do so many highly produced videos that you throw to.
Absolutely.
Right? But have parts on the stage, show demos, like go back. Like, let's go back, you know? It's like do all the stuff that Cook had Craig do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because eventually Craig just did it all, right? When
Yep.
they were doing in-person events. Because he could. But now the CEO can. He clearly feels comfortable doing it. Let's put him out there. And yeah, it would be incredible, right? Pick it up, unfold it, show it to the crowd, lights bouncing off the screen like it's a bit like what the iPhone was, you know? Like, yeah, I would love that. Oh man, I would love that. I think they could do it. I do think they could do it. Like they won't be the same as they were pre-COVID, but they could take a step.
Yeah. Two more things. One, I'm sorry, lean into the fact that people think you're hot.
Yep.
I keep thinking of John Turnus as the Ryan Gosling of tech CEOs. So
Oh,
why not?
man.
And finally, start replying to emails like Steve Jobs used to. Steve
Oh,
Jobs sent a bunch of, I don't want to say nasty emails, but like the guy could
Say some
send a
Cook
say some
would
stuff.
reply, but I don't think his replies were ever noteworthy past the fact that he sent an email.
I mean,
to a
on
customer.
a spectrum
Yeah.
of a Tim Cook reply to Steve Jobs emailing a reporter saying, "What have you done in life that's so great?" Like there is something in the middle that you can probably land on.
Yeah, I don't want him to go over there. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah, that is a
Let's-
real Steve Jobs email, by the way,
yeah.
to a Gizmodo reporter. Of all places.
Wasn't that part of the iPhone 4 thing?
It was,
Yes.
I think.
What have
Yeah.
you
I
done
mean,
in life that's
in
so
that
great?
scenario, I'm going to excuse Steve Jobs, right? Because like I understand why they were very upset. I don't excuse the secret police that he got
I was gonna
involved
say,
in the
you know,
scenario.
they sent the Silicon Valley Gestapo over there.
Yeah, but the email at least I understand. You know, I would also feel that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
in
we
this
don't have to.
scenario.
We don't have to go there.
Yeah.
But there's a middle ground where John Turnus can be John Turnus, and you know, I don't know. I just feel like, all jokes aside, I think this person can probably bring back a touch of humanity to the Apple executive team that so far has been sort of represented by this incredibly polished image of
Yep.
perfect operations and perfect everything. I'm not saying that Apple should make bad products and be like, oh, shucks, we made a bad product because we're humans.
Whoopsies.
No, I am saying that in this day and age, a lot of us, especially the younger generation, is sort of craving that delightful imperfection that makes us human in front of a society and a tech space that is increasingly artificial and non-human.
Yeah. See, I think you are touching on why I am excited about this. Like, if you remove the leadership page conversation from the scenario, it is that this is a time for significant change to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully. But it isn't going to happen otherwise, right? Like,
Yeah.
Apple is not going to significantly change because Tim Cook got out of the right side of his bed one morning. Like, it requires a new CEO for there to be change. And it's like, it's not that I'm saying change has to happen for one reason or another, but just that change will be interesting. And that's why I'm excited about this. Because there is no way that Apple remains exactly the same. They will not be exactly the same. They're going to change. And I'm excited about the possibility of change.
Yeah, I think that's one reason this is all so interesting.
Yeah.
I've got a couple that are a bit more internal, if you will. I agree with everything y'all said. I think it's all super good advice. I think there's an opportunity here to really look hard at what you're doing with the App Store and legislation surrounding it. That Apple has spent untold time and money and goodwill to hold on to every bit of money that flows to the App Store that it can. I'm not saying you don't take anything. Like, that's not reasonable either. But I think they need to be honest about where they've been with this, and that it's time to take less money and be more open with the App Store.
Yep.
And if you do
love
that,
this.
I bet a bunch of governments will get off your back.
Yep.
I
I love this. And it might be hopium from my perspective, but
Sure.
like, I don't know why this couldn't be the case. You know, like I've seen a lot of people saying like, oh, you know, well, he's been at Apple so long, he's going to be indoctrinated to the Apple way. Da, 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 da. I don't think that's accurate necessarily. Just because you've worked somewhere for a long time doesn't mean you agree with everything.
No.
Like there are those in the, you know, it was clear that Schiller didn't agree, right? There was those emails during one of the court cases that they dug up where he was like, hey, we're making enough money on this. Can we reduce it now? And clearly Cook didn't agree. But like, wouldn't you say that if anyone is indoctrinated into Apple the most, it would be Schiller? Like, so if this is like an Apple way, not a Tim Cook way, but like I think it was a Tim Cook, this is what he wanted to do. So I could see a scenario, and I'm hoping that there'll be a scenario. So I'm trying to create a situation in which it could happen, but I want them to deal with what I consider to be the App Store problem. Like it is a problem. It is not a benefit to them. It's just a problem.
Yeah, it's time to look at it.
Yeah.
The other thing I think you should take a good, long, hard look at is the software organization. I think if hardware, software, and services are all siblings, I think the software organization is the one that's lagging behind. I like Craig Federighi. I know a lot of people who like him. He's great on stage. He seems okay to work for. But I don't think there's any denying that Apple's desire for new products, even in the last 2 years or 3 years, has been slowed because of the software. And it's not just the AI stuff, although clearly that is a huge part of it, right? That Siri isn't good, that they went down this road that didn't work out. That's not all on Craig. In fact, a lot of it was outside his organization. But he owns it now. And it's not the only thing that's kept Apple hardware back. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying you get rid of Craig. I'm not saying you promote him to chief software officer to keep him. I don't know what to do, but I'm not the CEO of Apple. John Turnus is. But I think there needs to be some honest soul searching about is the way the software organization working? Is it doing what we want it to do? Is that unfair? Am I on a limb here?
I think that some of it is unfair, but it's because we're not unfair. I think we have a different view on some of these things just based on our own tastes, right? That like a lot of people don't like Mac OS. I have no problem with it.
I mean, so here's the thing. Like, I actually think you have to discount like stuff in the last year.
Okay.
Because Liquid Glass, I think it is bad on the Mac, but it is the problem with Liquid Glass is bigger than just software, right? Like Craig Federighi, I mean, his team certainly implemented it and I think did a bad job in a lot of places. But I think it's easy in these moments to look at just what's recent and be like, Liquid Glass is bad. Fire the guy who did it. It's over the last many years, what systemic things have happened in the software organization, good and bad, that are worth addressing. So I think if you just look at Tahoe, like, and there are peers of ours who are like, Tahoe's bad. I don't think they're wrong. But that's short-sighted because it's just, one, it will change because all design changes. But we got to talk about things like products not shipping because the software is not ready. I would say how do I want to say this? The different Apple software products that should be more similar in the way that they work and operate, feeling like they're designed and worked on by teams who don't talk to each other. Bugs, long-standing bugs across multiple operating systems that just don't seem to get fixed. Whatever in the world is going on with feedback and radar that frustrates so many developers, like all of that stuff has got to be talked about. And I'm not saying that you were saying it's just liquid glass, but I think if we just limit ourselves to what's happened in the last 12 months, we're actually cutting off the opportunity for a more meaningful conversation.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm not sure where the argument comes from specifically, so like I think they were some good examples, but I wonder if some of these things are considered priorities or not. I do think that this year will be very telling one way or another. Like, Craig has to get this AI stuff together.
Yeah.
He has to, because it's under his remit now. Like, if we get to another year and they have not gotten this together, then yes, I agree, we have a problem, right? Like, this is clearly the most important thing that they need to get taken care of on their operating systems, and this is the year it has to happen. I do believe they are going to get it together, because it would, I feel like they only can do this CEO transition if they are confident that the operating systems will do what they're supposed to this year, one way or another, right? We can't get to June and they show off a bunch of AI stuff and then it comes to September and they still don't ship it. Like, they have to feel confident if they're going to put this on Turnus's plate, I feel like, because it would be ridiculous to set him up immediately to have this big failure again.
Yeah. Yeah. They seem, I can't help but think that when he says, "Oh, we're getting ready to change the world again," or whatever, like the Apple Intelligence, Siri, Gemini soup is on his mind.
Oh, it's absolutely part of it. But there's also the iPhones over the next 2 years should be very interesting. Maybe they're super excited about the folding phone and smart glasses, and they like really feel like they've got things taken care of, So on that, I would like to see more products that are intended for smaller audiences. Like that, not everything that Apple makes has to be this like era-defining platform.
Yeah,
I think they've fallen into that, and I would like to see them break out of it. So this is smart home stuff and more wearables. Like, what if the Vision Pro would have launched and it wasn't called the future of computing kind of idea, right? Like, if it was a little bit more relaxed, like, what would the tenor be on that product?
Yeah, they do seem, that's funny. I haven't thought about that. They do seem unable to announce something and just be like, let's see how it does.
Yeah.
Right.
But I understand why that happens, because they're Apple. The expectation is always that they're going to be the company to top themselves.
Yeah, but they haven't always talked like that. Right?
I agree.
Like, for years, they talked about the Apple TV before the service. It was like, it's a hobby.
Yeah.
Right. I would think the bigger look at that is like Apple has no humility in it. And maybe they should, when they introduce products, have a little bit of humility.
I think it's a trap they fell into, right? That like when Steve was gone, they needed to do something. They did the Apple Watch and they treated it like it was the biggest thing, since the iPhone. And it kind of was, right? So like, I feel like you could make that argument over time that like, oh, actually, you know what? It was the biggest thing since the iPhone. It wasn't bigger than the iPhone, but it was a big deal and it sold really well. And so I think they kind of just got into that flow, and that things got left off the table because they couldn't compete. And, but like, part of me thinking this is there is this suggestion, Mark Gurman has reported that Turnus is really hot on smart home. Well, that is not going to be a big deal. Right? Anything they do in smart home is not going to be a big deal. They'll be successful, they'll make money from them, but they're not going to change the world because of it. And so I feel like if they care about that kind of stuff and they're going to release that kind of stuff, then I want to see them release more things that are like that. When they do eventually come out with smart glasses, I don't want them to treat them like they're this thing that they invented, it's the newest thing, because they will not be at parity with their biggest competitor when they release them. And so that humility that you're mentioning, Stephen, has to be there a little bit.
Yeah.
We've developed this thing. We think it's going to be really great for our customers. Not like, hey, look at these 4 interfaces that we have pioneered. Like, we're about to do another one, right? Like, no, we're not going to do that. I want Turnus to take, like, his ascension is on the back of Apple's 50th, right? Which was a surprise that they marked it in the way that they did. I would like him to push this forward in the sense of the company appearing to be proud and to reflect on their own history a little bit more than they have been. Because why wouldn't you? Look at what the company has done. They're so particular about the times that they'll ever mention things like the Mac, right? The original Mac. It's like only when they want to show something in comparison to it because they want to look important, right? Like just be proud of your history and be more willing to show it. And then also embrace Lil Findy as the company mascot.
Yes.
Do it.
Yep.
Make that little friend of ours the actual company mascot.
Yes.
And I think they're getting close to it, boys. I think it's happening. And I think WWDC is the tell. How much is Lil Findy in WWDC? I think that's the thing. Like, is there merchandise? Are there stickers in the WWDC app, right? Of the Lil Findy? They also Apple, give that friend of ours a name. Just give it a name. It's too difficult because everyone has a different name now because Stephen keeps shouting at me when I say Lil Finder Guy, which is very fair. But then we need a name that we can all rally around.
Tim. Little Tim.
No.
No.
Call it Tim. Yeah, okay, let's call him Tim.
Yeah. Oh no, Tim crashed. I can't get to my files.
Hey, this is Tim.
This is Tim.
Hey, this is Tim.
So yeah, that's a wrap on Tim Cook.
Well, not
For
yet.
real.
Not
Soon,
really.
Kind
but
of.
not
Really.
yet.
Yeah.
This episode of Connected is brought to you by Fundera, powered by NerdWallet. Running a small business is tough. When it's time to get a loan, it can feel impossible to find a lender you can actually trust. The big banks say no. Then the internet is full of sketchy offers with sky-high rates and fine print no one can understand. It's super confusing out there for small businesses. So whether you need help covering payroll, you're managing cash flow, or you're investing in your growth, you deserve better. It should be simple. You don't want to take a bunch of your time up when you're already busy running your small business. That's why you should check out the small business marketplace, Fundera by NerdWallet. It's a free and easy-to-use platform that lets you compare real financing officers from trusted lenders all in one place. You just do one application, and they're realistic about small businesses. You don't need perfect credit to get started. There's no spam, no bait and switch, just personalized options that fit your business needs. It's a soft credit check up front, which does not impact your credit score. So you can check out what loan fits you best without taking a hit. It's free to use, and remember, they're not a lender, so you can trust them to help you get paired up with the right solution. If I needed a small business loan, I want a tool that is easy to use, easy to understand, and I think that's awesome. So here's the best part. For a limited time, you can visit nerdwallet.com/connected and fill out the no obligation form. You'll get to talk with a real person who knows all the ins and outs of small business lending. Don't risk your business on unreliable lenders. Go to nerdwallet.com/connected to find the funding you deserve. Fundera Inc. NMLS ID number 1240038. Our thanks to Fundera, powered by NerdWallet, for their support of the show and all of Relay. Remember how we said we weren't going to do a clip show?
Oh, again?
And then we did a clip show at the beginning of the show? I prepared something for you today. Do you know where you were on March 21st, 2017?
Celebrating my anniversary with Sylvia.
That's actually
Somewhere.
a pretty good answer.
I was also celebrating Federico and Sylvia's anniversary, but on my
Yeah,
own.
it was with us, actually.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh.
well,
It was the whole thing. It was a great day.
yeah. One time only, we don't need to go there, Mike.
Stop!
There's a certain year in which it's okay, and it's like a whole thing. Do you feel good now, Stephen?
No, I
about this
don't.
segment?
I feel
Okay.
How'd
real
you like
bad.
the surprise now?
Surprise back, right back at you.
March 21st, 2017. Apple today introduced Clips, a new app that makes it quick and
God.
fun for anyone
Oh,
to
he's a
create
genius.
expressive videos on iPhone and iPad.
Uh-huh.
We're doing a clip show, baby.
Eclipse show.
Eclipse show.
Eclipse show.
Eclipse
Okay.
show. The original feature set was pretty simple. You could take video and images and mix them with a bunch of pre-made music or your own music. They had filters, emoji, speech bubbles, and then you could share it to social media apps. I had forgotten about this, but before this was announced, it had been rumored the end of the year before that Apple was working on a short-form video social network, like Vine. Clearly, that was like a misinterpretation of this, but there you go. Apple, though, was very excited about a feature called Live Titles, where you could record and it would generate animated captions for you automatically. 2017, this was a big deal.
It's a big deal now.
It is a big deal now. It required a 64-bit A-series chip and iOS 10.3 or later at launch. But Apple did not sit still with clips. It got a surprising number of new features. I have several, and you two are going to tell me if this was a real feature of clips or a feature that I made up.
Here we go. Okay, I was wondering when are we... Surely he's not just going to tell us the features of clips for 10 minutes.
I've got a monologue about clips.
I see what's happening, yeah.
Feature number 1. Selfie scenes use the True Depth camera system to allow users to record themselves against immersive animated backdrops that include...
How do you want the answers to
real
this?
feature. Real feature.
I mean, that is a real feature. I remember it, but you want to just say them?
Yeah, I think you can just interrupt me, yeah.
All right.
It was really kind.
Yeah, that's true.
Number 2. Selfie scenes included content from Pixar films.
True.
I remember there being films.
Yeah. But was it Pixar or was it Star Wars?
There was definitely Star Wars because that's what I remember.
Yeah, I remember Star Wars actually.
And so
I'm going to
this
say
is one of
no
those...
to Pixar.
This is the thing where it's like, did it have Star Wars and Pixar, or did it have Star Wars so Steven said it has Pixar?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, I think it was just Star Wars.
I'm going to say it also had Pixar, just for the fun.
It did. Selfie scenes debuted with content from The Incredibles 2.
Okay.
Okay. Did it have Star Wars as well? Were we right?
I actually don't know. I'm not sure.
Unknown.
I read a
Can
lot
I
of...
Google it, or am I going to ruin your questions if I Google this?
Google it. No, you can Google it. I don't have anything about Star Wars in here.
No, but like selfie scenes, you have more questions.
Oh, let's search for it at the end.
Okay.
Okay. Support for AR features and spatial playback on the Vision Pro.
No, never. No.
No way.
It's too early.
Okay. It's actually not too early, but it is false. They did have something called AR Spaces effects. So you would scan your room, and then it would put things like confetti or sparkles in front of you and behind you.
They put way too much work into this app, didn't they?
So I have a theory about this app that it was just a playground for like other video stuff they wanted to do, and they just threw it in there. Okay. True or false? A Clips update in 2019 added support for Mickey and Minnie Mouse stickers.
True.
False.
It is true.
Okay.
Literally a headline feature in 2019.
I mean, I just didn't. I was like, oh, well, they're not stickers, right? Was stickers the thing?
Stickers.
There were stickers.
2019.
Okay. I guess that was sticker time, wasn't it? 2019.
Yeah. We had a stickers app.
iMessage apps. Do you remember iMessage apps?
Yeah, I remember Federico making John cover stickers in
yes
in the newsletter.
Were we all
well,
together?
John, I didn't make John. John wanted to.
I mean, I remember being at release notes. I don't remember if this was the one you were at or not. And I vividly remember John being very unhappy about it.
He was stuck in the hotel room covering sticker packs, and we went out to lunch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta do these stickers.
True or false? As part of Clips 2.0, they added landscape orientation support on the iPad.
Yes, true.
Yeah, I'll take true as well.
It's a trick question. It was part of Clips 3.0. It took them 3 major releases to add.
As far as
landscape
trick
orientation
questions go, that one sucks.
Look,
like the trick question would be, it was landscape but not on the iPad, right? Not like, oh, it was a different version number.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got us. You got us.
True or false? Clips was eventually upgraded to support 16:9 vertical video.
I think false.
I also think false.
It is true. They eventually came around to
congratulations
it.
to them.
Congratulations. Also, Point of Clips 3.0.
So they got to 3.0. Wow. So
Yeah,
they went
no.
from, I guess, Vine to Instagram stories, right? Is what they were kind of like
Yeah.
going after.
That's kind of the
size-wise.
stretch of time, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Because it was square to like portrait.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that would have been TikTok then.
I don't think so. So you did pretty well. I didn't keep score or anything, but you knew Clips better than you thought you would. That's good.
Is that all of them?
Yes.
All right.
So
let
tell
me
us
do
about
my
Star
Google
Wars.
search now. Yeah, Apple Clips 2.0 selfie scenes taps iPhone 10 and Star Wars. So there's like the Millennium Falcon. You could be at the Millennium Falcon.
Okay.
Oh, and also you could be a Force Ghost.
Ooh, that's good.
That was a thing you could do. I remember being a Force Ghost.
Yeah. So in October 2025, Apple announced that Clips was no longer being updated and was no longer available for download by new users. If you had
2025?
2025.
Wow.
If you had October 25, not even a year yet. If you had downloaded it previously, you could go into your history and re-download it. It will run on iOS 26 and earlier. No promise of future support. Users were encouraged to save their videos. You could save videos with any effects or individual clips without effects. So they gave you lots of export options. I didn't really use Clips for anything serious. I'm sure I downloaded it. I did download it because it was in my history because I went and looked for it. Because I'm sure we talked about it at some point. But as my parting gift to you, in episode 600, I've made a Clips video that I'm putting in the Discord right now to be in the show notes. People can go enjoy. Just 30 seconds. Maybe y'all could talk through this video, narrate it for people.
Oh my god.
All right. This is breaking news. It says at the top.
Breaking news.
Steven's doing some real vlogging.
Mm-hmm.
And it's doing some live captions of him. Oh, and here we go. We're like looking at some old
Oh my
computers
God.
in like a cartoon style. Oh,
Yeah.
here's
The
Albert
heart
the
eyes
cat.
emoji.
with
There's a cat.
We're doing one of those fan cams of
Albert.
Albert now. Oh, this is this is
Okay.
some Ubiquity gear with
Casey
some flashing
Liz,
lights.
shout out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and Steven's falling over, and it's Steven's dead. Oh, that's a shame.
Just like
Incredible.
That was really good, Steven.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna say this: you could turn this into your
Yeah,
social
we need
brand
more.
now.
We need more Albert fan cams.
Yeah, and also
To be fair.
just general Steven Clips videos.
Maybe I just use
Yeah.
Clips. So
This should be like your thing now.
Yeah,
Mm.
and then over time you would have to like keep old hardware to keep so you could
Dude.
run it. You know, like it just feels very much like a Steven thing.
it's already
Yeah.
janky. Like it works on 26, but of course the UI is all like iOS 17 and 18.
Yeah.
It has like soundtracks you can download and they work, but the downloads are very slow. Like one computer somewhere is hosting them.
There's one Mac Mini
Yeah.
that,
yeah.
that is hosting those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also running OpenClaw for Eddie Q. And
They just
And
snuck it in there.
they
you
snuck
know?
it in there. And so I was going to put it on YouTube just to have a cleaner link for the show notes. And YouTube had a copyright mark on the music, even though it's supposed to be royalty free. So
That's hilarious.
it's on 512 pixels. So there you go.
That's really funny. I guess they let the rights expire for that piece of music wherever Apple got it from, right?
Yeah. I bet it expired and no one in Cupertino noticed.
Did it still have the Star Wars stuff in there and stuff like that?
Not that I saw.
Because I could
Um,
imagine maybe the deal for that stuff may have expired. Let that expire.
Yeah.
Maybe they pulled it out.
Yeah, it definitely felt like a lot of the UI was sort of stripped down from maybe what it once was. And it's also
Yeah.
just really weird. Like the live titles are a separate thing than recording video. You can't tell it, this is a video clip, add titles to it. It's just,
Okay.
it's very old school in many ways. But yeah, that's the end of my clip show for you.
Amazing.
Thank
Love
you,
it.
Steven.
This was really good. This
Thank
is
you.
really good. You never know what you're going to get when it says hold for someone
Uh-huh.
in the document. And I was very nervous at the beginning that I thought you were just going to read the Wikipedia page for clips at us.
Yeah.
But you really, this was like, you very much bulled this, where we started at a certain level and you bulled it up to quiz and then bulled it up even further to content creation.
Yeah.
So bravo.
Yeah,
There's the old double bull, they call it, Federico.
Yeah.
The double
Yeah,
bull.
the double
double
bull,
The full
bull.
otter.
Yeah.
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 Yes, you ottered it. You smashed that to pieces, just like an otter would.
Mhm.
I did. Yeah, it was a joy. So that's it. That's episode 600. We did it.
Hooray!
We did it.
And this, unfortunately, is the last episode of Connected. Thanks for listening, everyone.
It's been an honor to serve you.
No,
over
no,
the
no,
past-
We've loved doing this show so much.
No.
Unfortunately, our relationship has become too fractured at this point. It's an artifice. It's all fake. This whole show is written by Steven every week, and he's had enough of writing it. So goodbye, everybody.
That's not true. If you want to find links to the stuff we spoke about, just a breathtaking amount of things this week. You can go to your podcast player. You can go to the web at relay.fm/connected/600. There you can leave us feedback, or you can go to connectedfeedback.com, drop us a note, and you can join and get Connected Pro, which is the longer and ad-free version of the podcast that we do each and every week. So at the beginning of each episode, we do a special topic. This week, we spoke about Framework and their new laptop, 13 Pro laptop, whatever they call it. The name is bad.
Whoa. Just the laptop
13
Pro.
13
Yeah.
Pro. Fascinating company. I think we're all very interested in what they're doing. So we talked about that. No ads. And then at the end, we pick titles and subtitles and sometimes wrap things up. So you can get all of that. It's just $7 a month. GetConnectedPro.co.
Oh.
You can find Prince Flexi Federico at macstories.net, where he makes John cover sticker packs.
No, not true.
They just don't publish those articles anymore.
It's just for
They're still doing it.
internal
Oh,
consumption
okay.
only.
Tom? John
Wow,
is
wow.
Tom Voorhees, as we call him. He's just a
Mhm.
man of habit. Federico doesn't even want him to do it anymore, but he just can't stop.
Yeah. Yes. And you guys spoke about Frames 4 last week, which I loved the conversation. It's awesome.
Thank you.
So if you haven't played with that, dear listener, go check it out. It's really cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mike hosts many other shows here on Relay, and you can check his work out at Cortex Brand, and you can read his blog at theenthusiast.net.
Yeah, I need to post that blog.
You need to have a post to be like, I'm back. I'm back to posting.
I'm back to blogging, everyone. I'm back on my cadence now. Here we
That's
go.
right. I am your Attorney General Flexi. You can find my writing at 512pixels.net.
And where can they find your clips videos?
512pixels.net.
No, like where else are you going to post it? On Instagram?
Yes, I will put it on Instagram. ISMH86 on Instagram. I almost forgot
Don't
about
post
the
it
86.
today, though.
No, it'll be later in the week.
Yeah, because then you don't want to spoil it. For
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in my task manager. Post clips video
Wow.
to IG.
I like that we've made you. Oh, IG, look at that. He's such a
Connected
pro, Federico.
on
He's like such
Friday.
a content
IG.
creator.
Friday, 3:30 p.m.
Is that OmniFocus? Is that where that went?
I don't want to talk about
Wait.
that. Yes, it is. It is.
Okay. I'm like, whoa, he's done it again.
I'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Kelford Inc., Applicat, and Fundera, powered by NerdWallet. So thank you for listening, putting up with us all these years. We're not going anywhere. So until next week, boys, say goodbye.
Arrivederci.
Cheerio.
Bye, y'all.